India have had a disastrous home season, ending with a 3-0 whitewash to New Zealand in their own backyard in Bengaluru, Pune, and then finally in Mumbai. So here we are to discuss a few conditions and what went wrong for Team India in their own home ground. So I have with me Ahan, Nikhil, Suryansh, and Roshan. Welcome everyone. How are you all?
Great.
Great,
Good.
how about you?
All
Thank
good,
you for
all good.
inviting us.
And how do you feel about being thrashed at home from a side that lost 2-0 in Sri Lanka? I think we can start with Roshan to speak on this topic.
Okay, fair enough. uh, see, I didn't have any problem with the 3-0 series defeat, to be very honest. Okay, because some or the other day this was going to come. This
Yeah.
was going to happen, right? But my main problem lies in the manner which we lost all the three test matches in Bangalore, in Pune, and in Mumbai. In Mumbai, we had got a very easy target to chase, which is very fair to say. 150 plus target in a test match is pretty chaseable easily. And we also had the likes of Sarfaraz, Rishabh. Rishabh's wicket is a bit controversial. We'll come onto that later. He was just unlucky, but yeah, we had the likes of Sarfaraz, Rishabh, Virat, Rohit, Shubman Gill, who could chase down this target pretty easily. But I don't know where we went wrong or where we succumbed. Did we succumb under pressure or did we succumb under anything else? I don't know. Or maybe it might be the case of like the mentality wasn't up for it or anything as such. I don't know about that, but I, to be honest, I didn't have any problem in losing the series after 12 years at home. But the manner in which we lost, I am more disappointed about that than losing the series 3-0.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we could have shown a bit more application, as you said. And now coming to Suryansh, we were chasing 143 on a day three pitch, not even a day five pitch. So I don't think the pitch had deteriorated so bad that we couldn't have played at all. I think it was just a matter of probably few short selections and better improvising ourselves in those conditions. What do you feel, Suryansh?
I feel if it's their day, it's their day. And if it's not their day, it's not their day. But I believe that they could have won the match. See, see, if you speak psychologically, you'll say that after losing two matches, the team is under a lot of pressure. So
Yeah.
I think that would have played a big part in the third test, how they played, how they approached the game. Because if you come from a winning streak, you are always very confident that you have you've had lots of successes, lots of wins. So you don't have that pressure, but the other team has that pressure because you have been winning matches consecutively. So it's pressure
So
on
you
the
have a
other team. But
momentum.
exactly. But here it was opposite. The other team had a momentum because they won two tests back to back.
Yeah.
So the pressure was on Team India to win that test.
True. And Nikhil, do you think Rohit Sharma and probably the few others were trying to be too aggressive in all the three test matches, to be honest? Like trying to start with an explosive start rather than seeing the conditions and playing out the ball on the merit? Do you think we were trying to be over aggressive at the start in the top, which put pressure
Uh,
on likes of Ashwin, Jadeja, Sundar, and everyone down?
Yeah, I completely agree to this statement because see, you have to understand the difference between a T20 game and a test match. Because that's what Gautam Gambhir said in one of his statement interviews, right? That we need to change our approach. You cannot just, play T20 in test matches and you can win the matches. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. We saw the match between England and Pakistan also, how they failed against the Pakistan spin duo. So
Yeah.
this is what had happened with India also. Similar thing, even though the conditions were different, but similar thing had happened with India also. And I guess senior players like Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli should have taken some time, even in the all the three test matches, when you are losing wickets on the other hand. Specifically, Virat Kohli is being such a senior player and one of the greatest player of this century.
Yeah.
So I guess he should have taken some time and should have read the condition properly, and then he should have played some shots if needed at all. specifically, I believe in the third test match, we had a 2 days time. We had like 180
Yeah.
overs to bat, and means it is obviously more than the target also. So we could have played some defensive shots and we could have managed the game. Even if we wanted to win it on the third day, we could have done it, but some kind of proper technique should have been there. So that is what I would
Fair
feel, that
enough.
technique and the approach should have been the different.
Exactly. Really, I think that was one talking point as we go into Australia this month later on. Ahan, it's time to put you in the hot spot since you're a Bengaluru fan. You like Virat Kohli so much. You keep talking about him. So, what do you think? Did Rohit Sharma get it wrong in Bengaluru on the first day of the Test match? And do you think Virat Kohli was just trying to be too eager, getting 2 runouts himself and 1 runout of Rishabh Pant in the series? So, where did it go wrong for India and Virat Kohli in this series?
So I think if we go back to talking about the Bangalore game, I think the first innings where we were put to bat, and we all know that the 46 all out was one of the lowest points for the Indian team in tests, especially after the 36 all out that happened a few years ago. I don't think anyone expected something like that to happen again. So it came as a big shock that the wickets that they lost on that day at such a time where we actually needed to get at least 1 or 2 wins from this series for our spot in the World Test Championship finals. The way they approached the batting in the first innings, I think, was something that they needed to look back on because some of the wickets they really threw it away where they shouldn't have, and some of them were actually very good balls from the bowlers. So I think
Yeah.
it also came down to more that the if we talk about Kohli, the way he got out on the in the first innings on Bangalore, it was a very unfortunate wicket because he got the insiders onto his pad
Yeah.
and then the catch. So that was very unfortunate for him to get out. But I think throughout the rest of the innings, the run out in the Mumbai game was definitely his fault because if you're just tapping the ball inside the 30-yard circle and you're expecting you to complete a run where the fielder's not that far from the stump, I don't think you should. And a lot of people were seen to be blaming Gill when, I mean, it's completely Kohli's call to take because he's the one on strike. Gill doesn't know
Yeah.
what's happening. He doesn't know where the ball has gone. So it's definitely Kohli's call. I think the call to run over there was just not right. Because we all know that between the wickets, Kohli is probably one of the greatest players who are running between the wickets. But it was too close. It was too close to the stump. So it was definitely not a run. So that was definitely his fault. Coming to the other one where Pant got run out with Kohli running between the wickets, I think that was more of his decision as well, not Kohli's, but Pant's whether to take the run or not. Because it was even that was a decision that shouldn't have been taken by him to run. So both those runouts were definitely the fault of the people on strike, if we look at it that
Yeah.
way. And as to
True.
the rest of the Kohli innings, except for the one in the first test where he had a good partnership with Sarfaraz and got on the very last day of the last ball of the innings on that day, was I think it was a good ball and it could have been avoided, but that's how maybe the luck was in New Zealand's favor. He got out on that ball. But besides that
Yeah.
innings, very subpar batting from him and the rest of the team as well.
True.
Yeah,
Exactly. Because
just to add on to all of these things, I think if we lose the BGT by
yeah.
a heavy margin, then I mean, you guys might not like me for saying this, but I think then it's time for some big decisions that need to be that are to be taken for the betterment of ICT, right? So
Yeah. Indeed.
we need to let go of the sentimental value that is present right now amongst the stars. And
Yeah.
if we genuinely want to see some good Test cricket in India and outside of India after this series defeat or series whitewash rather, then I think it's time for some big decisions that are to be taken.
True. I think those two are the main takeaways because, as Zahan said, in both the matches when Kohli got out, we saw the last 15 minutes collapse of India. That was one area where we lost the match in Mumbai. Then Rishabh Pant's wicket triggered another collapse in Pune, where we could have won that test match as well. So those two are the main changes. And coming to Roshan's point of view of changing the team dynamics, I completely agree. I mean, if you go to see PCB has been under a bit of scrutiny for keep on changing their selection committee, but they have taken very harsh decisions. I mean, if you want to remove someone like a Naseem, Shaheen, and Babar from your squad between a test series, not like they were included in your squad, and then you remove them, it is quite disheartening for the fans and for them personally. So I think, and you saw what happened. They went on to win the series 2-1 because of they changed their pitches dramatically. they got in some industrial fans to make the pitch turn. I mean, that is something I've seen for the first time in cricket myself. So what they did was very different, but I think the selection committee has to be given a hats off. I think they prioritize Pakistan cricket over Indian over their own system of working. So I'm not blaming Virat and Rohit here because Virat and Rohit are great. Like they're superstars of the game. You know what they have achieved throughout the course of their career. Means there's no chance like you see Indian sentiments, you feel like you want them to be a part of every single game they play, just because of the fan following they have, and just because of the caliber, what they have possessed from 2016 era or 14 era, basically. So tough calls on the way. I think I just hope personally that both Virat and Rohit come good in the BGT. They have 10 innings to prove themselves. So even if they click in probably 6 to 7 out of them, that shows that they're back in touch. So I just hope they do well. But looks a long way forward, to be honest. Looks a really long way forward.
And I remember once Gambhir had given an interview, or he was on a podcast rather than an interview with Ashwin. And on that podcast, he had said that to build the Indian Test team, you have to pick players from the Ranji. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if that's the case, I don't know if you are aware about this guy's name. He plays for Tamil Nadu in the Ranji Trophy. His name is Pradosh Paul.
Yeah.
He's I think he comes down at 3 or 4 to bat for Tamil Nadu, and he's
Mm.
averaging 58.8 in first class cricket. 58.8 in Ranji. That
Yeah.
is one massive average, to be honest.
Yeah.
58 in Test cricket as an average is is just a bouncer, really. And also there is another guy who plays for Mumbai Ranji team. His name is Tanush Kotian.
Yeah.
He's a batting all rounder. He also, I think he also comes down around 6 or 7,
7.
Seven,
Yeah.
yeah.
and yeah, he's averaging 44 at 7 down. You know, he's averaging better than the guys we currently have in the all rounder department.
Yeah.
So, if that's the case, then why aren't you looking at these guys and potentially integrating them into the test team for the future? These guys are putting up immense numbers in the Ranji Trophy. So, might as well just have a look at them and try to integrate them into this test team alongside Shubman, Rishabh, Virat, and Rohit. All of these guys. I think we need to take that call because these guys need to be recognized for their performances. They're putting in their
Yeah.
hard work. They're putting in their dedication, commitment, everything. And as I said,
True.
58 as an average in Test cricket is no joke. That shows how good your consistency is. So this needs to
Yeah.
be looked upon, and I hope they are integrated into the test team in the future. And that's all.
True.
I'll see.
True. And now, just gonna talk about one particular topic here, just to Ahan and Nikhil, because Nikhil is a fan of Sri Lanka, I've heard, and Ahan is reads the conditions of Indian pitches quite well. So I just wanted to ask you: do you think India have a problem playing spinners in rank turners, or in a pitch which just has probably 2.2 degree of turn from day one or day two onwards? Do you think India are suddenly not capable enough of playing good spin bowling in pitches, in test pitches especially?
Yeah, I definitely think that India have a problem playing spinners. As we've seen over the years, if we go into seeing players individually, Kohli always has struggled a lot against spin. There were a few times where he had played spin well, but he's usually been a victim of getting out to spin quite often. So Kohli's struggle against spin is something that I think everyone is aware of. So especially on pitches like this, where we had the call on which pitch to select for the match, we should have opted for a pitch where we know that the batsman can bat to their best ability. So I think
Mm.
that is one place I think where we went wrong in taking such a pitch. If you know that, like even after the first game, if we realize that the ball is spinning so much, from the next game you make a bit of a change where the ball is not turning that much. If you know that the batsmen are going to struggle against spin, so I think that's one thing that our management should have looked at. and made better decisions in choosing the pitches for the next 2 games. And so yeah, I mean, I think in the Indian team, from all the batsmen, I think there's only one batsman who actually plays spin well, and that's Pant. And he showed it throughout
Hmm.
all the innings he played, where his aggressive style of playing actually helped us, and he played very well against spin. So maybe
True.
the rest need to practice more against spinners and get better, or you need to pick better pitches for them to play on and adapt to the pitch that way. So I think yeah, India definitely have problems against spin, but if they want to see long-term success in Test, this is something that they have to deal with.
True. And Nikhil, coming to you now, I don't know if you're happy or you're sad, but we did lose 2-0 in Sri Lanka's own home ground. So I don't know what your feelings are like now, but there also Sri Lanka prepared a pitch which turns. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, obviously, if you are in Sri Lanka, then you have to be very much prepared for the spin of obviously the condition also and the spin qualities bowlers also, which the Sri Lanka has, right? And one thing which I analyzed in the Sri Lanka series is most of the batters were getting out due to the sweep shot, right? They were playing sweep against Dunit Vilalage because they thought that he's a new guy, we can easily score runs against him, and he showed that wow, how tricky it can be if you are playing in the Sri Lankan conditions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I'm also not very happy because at the end of the day we are Indians, so yeah, right.
Yeah.
If we are losing series, so it's a loss for us also. But yeah, if we are talking specifically about Sri Lankan series, then I think India should have learned something from that series because yeah, as now just this is a classic example. You have seen the
Yeah.
results in the Sri Lankan series, how your batters have struggled in the white ball. So you should have
Yeah.
made of pitches which are batters friendly because you know that your batting is your strength, right?
Yeah.
Because you have got number one all rounder Ravichandran Ashwin who has scored centuries.
Mm.
Yeah, right. So he's also he can also bat well. So you should have made batters friendly pitch. So that is one point. And yeah, obviously when you are talking about the Sri Lankan series, spin is a big threat for Indian team right now, right? Because we have seen for the first time Virat Kohli getting dismissed thrice in a series to a spinner, that to an LBW. So that's a big shocking thing for a player like
Yeah.
Virat Kohli who has scored so many runs. You know, because we
Yeah.
think that he will be the one who will break Sachin Tendulkar's record. So this is something which is not expected from him, but yeah, this is what the reality is, and he has always faced the problems against the spinners,
Fair.
as in the
Good.
classic
Good point.
example of Mitchell Santner.
Yeah. Fair. It was quite a one-sided battle there. Now
Also,
coming to
I think
Suryansh.
just one
Yeah.
thing, also adding on to what Nikhil said about the Sri Lanka series where they try to play reverse sweeps. If you look at the series against New Zealand, also, a lot of the runs that the New Zealand team made while batting came off reverse sweeps. If everyone saw
Yeah.
that Mitchell was one player who used it a lot. Latham and Conway also went to using the reverse sweep and the sweep to get a lot of runs. And if we compare that to the way the our players used it, like in the Mumbai Test, Jaiswal got out to a reverse sweep in the first innings where it was very avoidable because it was a full toss ball and he got out to that. So if you see the way that the New Zealand batsmen played against the spin using reverse sweep in the way we did, you see a vast difference because if they can do it on similar pitches, then even we should be able to. So it
Yeah.
goes to more of like the decision making of the batsman on which ball to use the reverse sweep and which ball to not.
Yeah, exactly. Even to your point, Ahan, as you said, they New Zealand they used the reverse sweeps even for a single. I heard Sunil Gavaskar and Dinesh Karthik speaking in the Pune Test, where the reverse sweeps were coming right from the middle of the bat and directly to deep point for a single. So I think it all goes on the short selection, how you want to take it, and probably just work on that technique as well. Now coming to Suryansh and Roshan, first I'll ask Roshan on this matter. We head to Australia right now, where we are going to find bouncy pitches on any conditions. Like you go to Perth, you go to Adelaide, which is a day-night test match, by the way. So we can expect deadly stuff from Stark, Hazelwood, and all. And then you go to England later on. So regarding England series, I'll come to Suryansh, but just on your topic here, Roshan, 5 test matches in Australia. What do you think our bowlers need to do personally? And what do you think our batters need to do coming into that series? Because we need to win basically 4-0 to have a chance of qualification. So,
Yeah, I mean, before coming to your topic, I would just like to say that Mohammad Shami is a big loss for us,
yeah,
isn't it? I mean, to not have Shami going for the BGT is going to hurt us a lot. We don't know how Prasidh or how Akashdeep will perform with Siraj and Bumrah as our two main fast bowlers in Australia. So no one knows how they're going to perform. I hope they perform well. And as you said, we need to win 4-0 to qualify for the WTC, which seems very tough. But we all vividly remember the last time we toured Australia and that Rishabh Pant's innings at the
Yeah.
Gabba. We were the underdogs at that time, and he I don't know what was fed to him that day. He took the match in his hands and just just curated that partnership with Washington Sundar on that day, and it was Washington, right? If I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
was
Washington,
it
I think. And
Washington?
Gill started the day with 95 or 96,
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah. Gil started the day very well. Then he put up that Rishabh put up that partnership with Washington to get
Yeah,
us through. So yeah, we can only hope for miracles now to win 4-0, but it's not doing good as of now. Let's see what happens. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself,
yeah,
and I hope we win not by 4-0. Even the 3-2 works,
yeah,
I guess, because if we win the series, at least we'll be in a good position to qualify for the WTC, and maybe won't have to depend much on other teams
yeah.
to play at Lords next year.
Fair enough. And Suryansh, coming to your topic, like I personally feel India now have a lot of away tours. Like now you see even the T20 against South Africa, then you have a test immediately
Exactly.
in Australia, then you will probably have a bit two or three you have a few match series against England at home. Then again you have a Champions Trophy, which is not sure if we'll be traveling to
Sure,
Pakistan
Uday,
or
right.
Dubai. So we might have a lot of uh, topics where we are being
Away
away
matches,
from.
yeah.
So, do you think that's a matter of concern considering our recent form?
See, if I speak by point of view of a supporter, it is. But if I speak by point of view of a person who goes by the what do you call it? Not getting the
The
word,
book?
but who go if you say yeah by the books
Yeah,
or the strategies and all which Indian team has been using, I believe it's not very difficult for them to obtain success in those matches because we have
okay.
seen this earlier on as well.
Yeah,
When India team has been at its lowest, they have they've had a good comeback, and that's what defines a champion team, be it a
yeah,
team or a person. That is what is the definition of a champion. It's not how you play, but it's how you make a comeback after you are at your lowest, which
yeah,
describes you as a champion. So I believe Team India is really good at doing comeback. So let's
yeah,
see. I think the BGT series will be their comeback series.
yeah. Hopefully, indeed. Yeah, because we saw even after 36 all out, everyone ruled us out to lose 5-0. But then we came back and showed who we are and we won the series ultimately, which shocked the world. So I think Team
Exactly.
India is for comebacks and this is the right time to come back. I think this setback, if you look from aside from a supporter point of view,
Yeah.
it is a good time we are at the downfall because we now know we have to really prepare hard for the Champions Trophy because we won't get ahead of ourselves. We know that these things happen in life. We know that such setback has happened, but I think we might have a
We
comeback
still
just
have
on
time.
time.
That's the good thing.
Exactly. We still have around 4 to 5 months in our hand before we head there.
Right.
So, yeah, now just on the
And
last topic of the
just
day.
yeah,
Yeah,
just one more thing. Uh, Gambhir was given whatever he wanted by the BCCI. He was given his coaching staff. He was given his preferred bowling coach in Morni Morkel. He was
yeah,
given his preferred assistants in Abhishek Nair and Rayantan Deskate. So he doesn't have any excuses right now to say that I didn't get what I asked for. He got
indeed.
everything. So BCCI went against their policies to give Gambhir what he wants, and if we lose the BGT by heavy margin, I think he'll be under scrutiny a lot. He already is. He already is, to be fair. But that BGT loss will take that toll even higher. And then right now he doesn't have any excuses to say that, as I said, I didn't get my coaching staff, or I didn't get what I asked for. He had also asked for rank turners for this series. He also
Yeah.
got that from the pitch curators. So yeah, he needs to do something for this Indian test team now in Australia, so that his he keeps his job safe and continues to carry till the Champions Trophy at least.
Yeah, I don't know if Roshan has some sort of telepathy with me or something, but my next question was just about that. Whose fault was it mainly? Was it Gambhir's fault in this whole series that we lost 3-0, or was it the approach of Rohit and Virat? So I was coming to each one's point of view. I think we already got Roshan's point of view straight, clear before my question. So surely some sort of connection is there. But now I would like to ask Suryansh, what do you think? Whose fault was it? Gambhir's, Rohit Kohli's approach?
Yeah, I think
What is your say?
the coaching style definitely matters because you have a transitioning change from the type of coaching which Rahul Dravid had. He was not very aggressive. He did not have a very aggressive style of coaching. But if you see, if you compare it with how Gautam Gambhir has been a player, he has always been aggressive. So if you just look
Yeah,
at the styles of their play, you can understand that it might have come into the player's mind. That is why if you see
yeah,
in I think the Sri Lankan ODIs, the bowlers were playing too aggressively, even if they were batting. And I
yeah,
think because of aggressive action of Ardeep Singh, he tried to hit a six. He got out, and we only needed 2-3 runs to win.
yeah. We lost
So
by 2 runs.
that
One run,
exactly
one run.
2 runs. So that
Yeah,
aggressive action caused us a loss. So I think it comes natural because if you are playing under such a coach,
yeah,
it will obviously come. But let's see. I think it will take some time, but it will take time to reduce that effect. But I think you should be hungry to win more matches,
yeah.
and you should not be satisfied with what you have. That's what I.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
True, true. And what is your say on such a topic?
I think, yeah, I actually agree with what Roshan and Suryan said. That is definitely something with the coaching, because as Suryan said, the style of cricket that Dravid implemented in the team and the style of play that Gambhir is bringing in is vastly different. If we look at the coaching style from a T20 or ODI point of view, then sure, Gambhir actually is a good coach for the team. Because as we saw in recent T20 series, where we almost made 300 runs in the previous game that we played. So that
Yeah,
approach does work very well in T20s and ODIs. But in Test matches, you have to be you have to take a conservative approach to it. You have to see how the ball is turning. You have to see the kind of bounce the pitch has. You have to analyze every ball, and you have to analyze every shot. So if it comes to Test cricket, we definitely need to change our approach.
yeah. So Nikhil, just wanted to finally conclude with you on this topic. Is who do you think is the main reason for this loss? Gambhir or the approach of Rohit and Kohli?
See, I guess it's a fault of both because a coach, as everyone said, it's a fault of Gambhir. I completely agree to them, but not to the means not 100%, right? Because a coach
Mm.
can only direct you. It's your way how you want to play the game, right? And Virat
Yeah,
Kohli and Rohit Sharma are not new to the game, right? They have been
yeah,
playing up for so many years. Both have been played both have played for India with Gautam Gambhir also when he was a player. So they are not new to the game. So even they should
yeah,
have used their sense and they should have played properly. It's not obviously the fault of Gautam Gambhir. Yes, BCCI have given everything which Gautam Gambhir demanded. That's true. But at the end of the day, it's upon the players also that how they need to play the game. And if we are talking about Indian team, see, it's not a new team. It's not a new team, right? The players also
yeah,
pretty much experienced. If we talk about someone like West Indies or some other countries, like right, okay, so then they can say that we our players are new. We have to follow how the coaches is telling. But Indian team is quite experienced, so they know how to play.
yeah,
We have got players what about 35 years old, so they know how to play the game. So it's not about completely the Gambhir fault, but yeah, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli should have understood the condition first and then should have played sensible cricket. I would say it's a
Yeah,
correct term,
well said. Well said.
because sensible cricket is what they have missed, and that's the main cause of their wicket and their performance in this series. And obviously, while going towards the BGT, they know the Australian conditions, they know everything. So now again, it depends upon how they perform, because a coach can only guide you. He's sitting outside; he
Yeah.
won't come and bat for you, right? So that's what it is. And yeah, that would be pretty much it. So I believe that it's the fault of both, not only the Gambhir's fault, but the fault of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma also.
Fair enough. So I think we had a lovely discussion today, discussing a lot of points on the whole series which happened in Bengaluru, Pune, and Mumbai. So now there's the climax. Just
By the
one
way,
word answers.
yeah. I was going to
Yeah.
ask what are your guys' predictions?
Yeah.
What
Again, I think he has my telepathy. I was just about to end with that. So I'm sure he has some.
Close by, right? Both of y'all stay very close. That's why.
I think, as you said, we are neighbors, as we all know. So neighbors should know each other's plan. So I think he knows my mind, what is happening. So yeah, exactly, Roshan, your question. What do you think is the score line for the BGT, and will we qualify for the WTC? Yes or no? So we'll start with Roshan.
um, it's tough for me, man. See, I don't think we'll lose final for sure. अगर इज्जत बचाना है ना तो
One would
एक तो टेस्ट
answer.
जीतेंगे हम लोग. इज्जत बचाना है
Okay.
तो एक टेस्ट दो टेस्ट तो जीतना ही है. Final means like you have been really dismantled from each and every segment, right?
Yes.
So if you want to maintain that respect, then for us fans and for the country, I don't think we'll lose final, only from that aspect. So I'm going with maybe a 3-2 win for Australia
Okay.
as of now. I don't
Okay.
know. Later, that my prediction might also change as to how we perform in the BGT. So
Yeah.
as of now, I'm going for 3-2 Australia.
And will we qualify? Yes or no?
See, if we lose 4-0, then of course I know that we are not going to qualify. But I don't know what is the criteria if we lose 3-2,
Uh,
because
short
we already sorry.
In short, if we lose 3-2, we depend on Sri Lanka to win
Hmm.
just one match and South Africa to win just two matches out of four. So that's the criteria for us. And New Zealand to win just
Hmm.
one match out of three.
Yeah. See, so that is a very high probability which might take place, right? Losing 4-0, then you're done and dusted. You do not need to look any further.
Yeah.
So if we lose 3-2, still then we have some chance of qualifying for WTC and playing at Lords. So yeah, at least maybe put up some fight and show that we are here to play the WTC next year, and
Yeah.
show why we are the world champions, and
Yeah.
like play like world champions basically,
Fair.
because we had just won the T20 World Cup in June, and after that to see this type of downfall is really very hurtful for every ICT fan, I guess.
Yeah. Ahan, what about you? What is the score line? Will we qualify?
So I think in this series, I think the team is going to turn around. We are bringing in quite a few new players, some from the Ranji Trophy and some from who have had experience playing. So I think we're going to turn around this time, and I think we'll take the series 3-1. So I'm predicting three wins for us, one for them, and a draw. So
Okay.
if if it goes according to plan that way, then yes, we will qualify for the World Test Championship.
Yeah. Well said. I think that's quite a confident looking ICT fan here and a confident belief in Virat and Gambhir. So I like that. Hopefully we are triumphant in such a way. Nikhil, what do you say? Scoreline and
I will
quality.
go with 3-2, India winning the series, but not India qualifying for the WTC, because the reason being the Sri Lankan team, right?
Yeah.
Because they will be facing Australia in our home conditions, and we all know
Yeah.
how dominant Sri Lanka has been in their
Yeah.
home conditions, especially the Prabhat Jayasuriya form. No, so there are pretty less chances of India qualifying for WTC finals. And I guess Sri Lanka might this time might make it to the finals, WTC finals,
Okay.
because they deserve. They are much better team, I would say, as compared to India. I'm so sorry for that, but this is what the reality is because the way they have played cricket in the recent times, specifically dominating New Zealand at their home conditions and winning a Test match in England. So I believe Sri Lanka will make it to the WCC finals against Australia, but India will definitely win the BGT.
I like that. I really like that of Nikhil. He gets a Sri Lankan fan out finally in this video for the first time. I'm so happy to see that. Very well said, Nikhil. Thank you. Suryansh, let's end it with you here.
See 3-2 same scoreline with India winning 3-2, but India qualifying for the final.
Okay, interesting. Now, okay, if you have to ask me, I will say 3-2 to 3-1 to Australia. Unfortunately, just
Okay.
seeing the current form, and I see South Africa in the final for the WTC just
But
because of
one
their.
thing is, Australia is also facing some issues with their batting, right? Because if you have noticed or not, because Australia have not played any Test cricket recently, so that
Right.
is also a big concern for them. So this
Yeah,
can also be a winter meltdown for Australia.
and
Yeah.
another question is who's going to open with Usman Khwaja? Is
I
it
think
going to be
Max
No,
Sweeney for me.
Travis
that
Head?
they
Is it
have
going to
already got
be
one
Max
player.
Sweeney? Is it going to be Travis Head or Max Sweeney, or who's it going to be? That's also a question.
I think
So
Max Sweeney.
let's
I
see.
think
Max
that
Winnie
might.
will be making it to the playing 11.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
feel.
what Ricky Ponting has said it in the official interview.
Yeah. So I think this is
And
an quite an.
will Travis Head be playing? That is also another question.
Yeah,
I
but
think
this
he
time
will be in the play.
we will be not in the blue jersey.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know
He will get
what
whites.
type of enmity he has against us.
No, he's
This
given us
Travis Head
trauma
guy.
in the last finals also in 2020, the previous final. He's given us trauma that time also. So I don't think it's about the blue jersey. He just has something against our team.
Yeah,
Fair enough. It was a
like
great discussion.
if he plays, he will come down at what, fourth or fifth,
Four, yeah,
right?
number four.
After the
In at four.
number five,
4-4.
basically.
4
Yeah,
or 5.
Number four or number five, right?
yeah. Because you have
Hmm.
I
one down,
think,
you have Labuschagne, two down is Smith,
yeah.
three down will be Head.
Right.
And if he plays, I
Yeah.
think you can expect him to score at least 2 or 3 centuries in the entire series against us. On
So
a
yeah,
minimum.
we have to be at a front foot, man, from the first test itself.
Yeah.
We can't go with a very casual approach.
Fair.
And I don't know what to say, but yeah, I mean, we should be very confident in ourselves because,
Yeah.
as Hazelwood had said recently, it might awaken the sleeping giant in us, and we need to show
Mm.
that. We need to show that sleeping giant has finally awakened after has finally woken up after the uh, series whitewash.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. And I
Yeah.
think as of now, me and Rishabh are the only imposters over here, predicting series victory for Australia and not
Even,
for India.
but Nikhil is also an imposter in disguise.
He wants a Sri Lankan.
He wants
He
I
is,
India to win the
he
series,
Sri
is
Lanka
but not
50-50.
deserves
India
it
to
one,
qualify
sir.
for the finals.
Sri Lanka deserves it at any day. Means the way they have performed, winning against
fair.
England in England is big.
Yeah. So it was a great discussion actually today with all of you. Thank you for coming in. I think hopefully we meet really soon because there's a big IPL auction coming up. So if we all are free and we can catch up on time for that, why not? So looking forward
Yeah,
to.
we'll also discuss about the IPL auction and the
Right.
players that are there in the 2
Retention
crore
list and all.
2
Right.
CR list. Yeah, as of now. And yeah,
Yes.
we all will look forward to that also in a couple of
Done.
weeks time.
Sure. Looking forward to catching up with you all soon again. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you
Thank,
for inviting
thank
Bye.
you
us.
for inviting us.
Thank you for having us. Great discussion.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night.
And
Good
a
night.
lot
Good
of matches
evening.
to watch around the
Good
world.
afternoon.
See you.
Good afternoon for Rishabh. Good evening or good night for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pushed the time. Okay.
Okay, see you. Bye bye.